Peace everyone, Unmask Art here, and today I thought I'd share something a little different with you. So this past week I've been working on a previous project and I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do for my next project. And so I decided to just do a screen capture of me planning out one of my ideas for a future project. However, it ended up turning into something more than what I expected. I've mentioned in a couple videos that I have quite a bit of Photoshop experience, and so I do some things in Photoshop to plan my pieces. Usually it's not to the extent that you'll see in this video here, because in this video it turned into just a complete digital photo manipulation, and it was pretty unintentional. I've been watching some photo manipulation tutorials just to gather some new skills in Photoshop and whatnot. And so I had this picture of an elephant that I really liked, and I've been wanting to draw an elephant for quite some time just because I really like the texture and the animal itself. And so I started playing around with how I was going to plan this piece, and what I wanted to do was create a scene where an elephant had a cityscape on its back. And once I got my two reference photos to create the piece that I thought that I wanted, I was uncertain of what I was going to do for the background. So I was just going to pull in a couple reference photos to kind of put in an idea for the background. And I had this concept of the elephant kind of walking through the city and walking through a crosswalk. And I didn't know what else to do with the background behind it, so I just put some clouds and kind of made it faded out into nothing. However, it didn't really work for me, so I ended up changing the background and adding more of like a desert scene to it. And it started to look really nice, and so I wanted to add some more visual interest in the background, kind of put a nice horizon. And so I got some more reference photos and put them in there, and then I made kind of the mountains in the background and just blended it all out and did some color correction. And then I even added a little steer skull that you often see in desert photos and things like that. And I just kind of went way above what I've ever done as far as creating a reference photo. I do this quite a lot in Photoshop when I'm creating my reference photo, and I think I've mentioned it in previous videos, but I've never really shown you some of the work that I do as far as creating my reference photos. I often emphasize planning in all of my tutorials and things like that, and this is just an example of what I mean by planning. Because Photoshop exists in our lifetime as opposed to 100 years ago, where when you were planning your artwork you probably did multiple sketches and perhaps even visited places that you wanted to use as reference. I think Photoshop is now the tool to use when creating or laying out ideas. At least it is for me, and I think that it opens up an entire new world of possibilities for your creative outlet. And I think that it's a really essential tool for artists to use and to learn to use. I think that there's no real excuse not to have some basics in Photoshop, because understanding Photoshop requires you to understand different colors and how they interact, and using simple photography skills with color correction and contrast and developing dynamic lighting and photos. I think that it's just a perfect tool to add in the background of your art, just so you have some experience with. There's kind of other programs, but I mean, really the gold standard is Photoshop when it comes to digital art and editing. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this video with you because it really turned into a photo manipulation piece, which is something I've never done before. I've never went this far with planning a piece that it turned into kind of a cool photograph. So anyways, so here is the final photograph. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I don't know if I will make another video like this in the future. However, it was so much fun that I probably will end up making another video similar to this. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments and give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.